Good morning, evening, dusk, and dawn, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to episode 6 of our Crusader Kings 3 A Game of Thrones campaign as House Darry. In the last episode, in case you missed it, we did some pretty big things. We partook in 4 tournaments, jousting tournaments, much to my pain as I accidentally clicked the button 3 times to watch every single joust. But more importantly, House Darry has grown. We are training as a squire, Willem Rivers, our once bastard, now legitimate son. He is training in an education focus of stewardship. Seems to be going okay for the time being, but we'll see later. We had a little bit of a look around the map. We saw a few crazy things going on with regards to some of the dynasties that are now taking power. The Tyrrells have lost power, now led by the Florent. And Eddard of the North was killed, actually 9 years ago, which I never noticed, leaving Walton in charge ever since he was, well, 2 years old. He is also then betrothed to House Karstark over here, which is interesting. In terms of things that House Darry have done, we've actually expanded as well. You will notice our name is now over the Cape of Eagles, for we have managed to get our uncle, Lord Willem Darry, who I'm sure all of you didn't realise would have such an impact on this campaign as he has. He had a claim on the Cape of Eagles, and we pressed it and we won. Went over, we fought a war. We being us, Willowwood, and the Crossing. We fought a joint coalition campaign to get Willem in charge, and great news, no matter what happens, Darrys are going to go strong, because if he dies now, I take over. I'll just give it to another family member. However, our aunt, Lady Grana, is also pregnant. So one way or another, it looks like House Darry is going to be going strong. Unfortunately, I cannot actually negotiate an alliance with him, despite him being my uncle. Not entirely sure why, but hey, that's the way it goes. And that, I think, wraps up the catch-up. So, I'm filming this straight after episode 5 and 4, so any comments you may have made on episodes 4 and 5 will not have been actioned yet. I do apologise, but they will be actioned as of the next episode, episode 7. So, with that out of the way, let's unpause and dive straight on in. So, what are we planning on doing this episode? I want to do a lot of focus on... Well, first of all, we're more than likely going to see Willem Rivers actually come of age. And... Action created against me. Really? Hillside. You wanna lower the Crown Authority? Really? They can't join a war against me because I'm blackmailing him. Lord Hollis of Saltpan's Rise. I think we're pretty good. I don't think he would care too much about joining a rebellion. We negotiate an alliance. And then Riverbend. Might see Riverbend turn, but not too concerned. We do have friendship still with Willowwood, and we're not allied to the Crossing anymore, are we? They were just helping us in this war. But we still have our alliance with Willowwood. Oh, one other thing we did actually find out, Willowwood. If we look at Moray here, Moray is being held by Lord Stannis Baratheon. Now, the Baratheons, while in charge of the Iron Throne, are not in charge of their homelands anymore. The Stormlands are actually being led by House Catherine, Lord Paramount John here. Who I'm assuming, yes, he was granted it by Baratheon. So Baratheon willingly gave up the title, but it did take him 2 years to get rid of it. Let's bear that in mind. But yes, so that's enough of the global politics. Let's deal with what's going on back home. We're training our son to be a squire. Be a night round. Go for some swordsmanship. Failed again. Unfortunate. It is fine. Succeeded in a lot of times. He's failed very few. We will not let the failures, you know, overstate the achievement. We are building some wild harvesters in Darry at the moment, and we are potentially going to look at expanding even further. Probably either some farms and fields or pastoral lands. Thinking farms and fields. So having said that, the hunting grounds would be wise fool. My name is Gas, my lord. I have come before you to offer my wisdom. My knight, Joran, who brought the man before me, looks skeptical. He approached the castle riding a donkey, my lord. Backwards. Have a look. He is an insightful thinker. He has 19 learning. He's forgiving, fickle, and calm. I'm willing to have this man join me. We have room for him. Also, we should definitely have. That gives me 24. That's. Do I have a place that requires really good, like... I'll get him to share my wisdom. I do gain some insights, so I get 25. Excellent. Greetings, Lord Damon. Trident's mouth. For years, my skill in tactics and strategy has served me well. It occurs to me that this knowledge may also be of use to you. I would be happy to share what I know in order to gain your favor. This is Lord Stefan of Harrenhal, our neighbor. See, your assistance is greatly appreciated. Could increase my martial too. Okay. I think, yeah, we'll do this one. We can both benefit if we pool our knowledge together. See what happens. I take taking strategy lessons for 5 years. What happens with our good man? I think he just gained 2. He did, yeah. He gained 2 learning. Excellent. Excellent stuff. Speaking of, let's train our squire once more. Let's try horse riding again. Oh dear. Back to a net 0 with that one. Puppeteer. Ravossi puppeteer has arrived at my court. My steward, having heard talk of his talent among the local small folk, decided to invite him to put on a show for my household. I look forward to seeing the show. The puppet show was disturbing. The puppeteer put on several performances for the audience. One of the comical ones, however, felt like they were mocking myself and House Darry. I want you to find this puppeteer. I want to tell him he's a very naughty boy. Old mystical community. Yeah, let's do that. That thing. I beg in peace. Communed with the 7 who are 1. Ooh. I gained 300 learning lifestyle experience. Nice. And I gained divine guidance for 5 years. Now, what does divine guidance actually? +1 martial, +1 learning. Stress gain minus 25%, and stress loss minus 25. Plus 25. Wow. That's pretty impressive. Right. You come of age soon. Show me that you're worth being a knight. Excellent. There we go, my boy. That's what we like to see. I gain attentive care. I get a massive health boost on top of the one I'm already getting from rigorous bathing. Looks like we can do profit, monthly piety per captain, and faith creation and formation cost minus 50. Also, did the music just glitch for anyone else? Am I the only one that heard that? Maybe that was just me. Okay. Let's see what's happening. Hilaria can have a guardian finally. He is training in stewardship. That works. Or why don't we get you trained by Carl? Carol? Carol. Okay, so I'm now second in line, which means that my uncle did indeed have son, which is good. Eric Darry. He is sickly. Oh god. So Eric Darry could die, which would then mean that I go back to being heir to the throne. I hope he doesn't die. That would be very unfortunate for my uncle, who's had a wild life these past 13 years. It's been crazy. He was in King's Landing, and then he came here. Then he fought in the Civil War. Then he lost his leg, and then he retired to Dragonstone. A wounded veteran for many years, and then he came back. He served as an admiral for the Trident's Mouth. Now he becomes a lord of Cape's Eagle. The implacable Damon. I would like for your nephew Erman Darry to become the Squire Gerald Leicester, a most skillful knight. Okay. Oh, one thing to note, actually, that did happen during that war, we did unfortunately lose Raymond, our brother. He was slain in battle by Master Simon of Seagard, who is still alive. And is just a horrendously horrible man. He's deceitful, vengeful, sadistic. Probably enjoyed killing our brother. He also is the man that killed Lord Titus of Saltpan's Rise. In a duel, actually. Battle. But I imagine Lord Titus and Raymond were probably quite close. When Raymond was killed by him in battle, Titus probably challenged him to it. Unfortunately lost. We lost 2 good people of our realm very quick succession in that. Evening reflection. I sip at my mug of imported wine, eyes scanning over my latest scrawled work. Penury and anger. With red-plumbed war comes to this land. When red-plumbed war comes to this land, all flashes of iron and shouted demands, his subjects prove grateful, and if they are not, they'll learn how it is an empire. Truly I am one of the great artistic minds of my fine verse. What shall I muse next? Writing is fun, but I don't know about rhyming. I could become a poet would get me diplomacy per levels of fame and stress loss. Journaler would get me learning, stress loss. Perhaps I'll have a bath port instead. I mean, this is good for being arrogant. This one's actually good because it would be good for our learning. However, I think we're going to go for a fine verse because it feeds into the arrogancy of our character. Fine verse, what shall I muse on next? Great, so we've become a poet. We are a poet. We've also built our thing. And we can immediately start building the hunting grounds. Good. Child benefits from spouse's tutelage. Simona is likely to receive a good education. Good. Visions of the Divine. I beckon my septum, Pendrum, to join me in the circles of brass orb and candles arranged on the stage throughout the dark room. We've seen this event before, I believe. He doesn't feel so good with the idea of us communing and trying to get sight of angels. We managed to persuade him last time, and I think we will again. Yeah, we managed to persuade him again. And now we're receiving a letter from Lord Richard Riverbend, who looks unwell. He is ailing. He does look very unwell. It is perhaps not my place to question your strategy, yet I wonder why you allowed the enemies of our faith to go about their wicked business without interference. We have both the means and the right to deliver the seven who are one's justice upon them, so surely we must do so. So, he wants us to march on infidels. Who are these infidels? Because, I mean, there's the old gods, who we consider them hostile. I can't go to war with the North. There's also these people. Consider them hostile. But I don't think I can reach them. There is no way to pass the terrain when the time is right. When the time is right. I've promised everything and... Let's go for some swordsmanship, please. Excellent training, Willem. He will actually be coming of age next, like on the first of First Moon. The Hedge Wizard. An odd man has arrived at my court today, looking more like a vagrant than a courtier. The man announces that he is a hedge wizard and declares he can be of use to me. My guards begin to move to throw the hedge wizard out my court. He's an absolute lunatic, but he's also a miracle worker. See what he has to say. The hedge wizard emptied a bag of various animal bones onto the floor and began talking to himself. After a while, he stood up and declared that gold was to be made by sending pumpkins to Goldtown. Isn't the Vale known for its pumpkins? I suppose we'll see. We're going to lose 20 gold. Just prior to my shipment of pumpkins arriving in Goldtown, a massive epidemic of black rot had decimated the pumpkin crops in the surrounding area, causing the price to soar just in time for my shipment to arrive. The ship's captain apparently had to practically fend off the merchants who came to purchase them from him. I gained 200 gold. And he just vanishes without a trace. Mysterious man. He showed up, got me to pay 20 gold, and then I got 200 back. I mean, to me, that shows the power of being a mystic, right? And we are a wise man, do believe in all of that, so I think that just goes to reinforce Damon's own beliefs anyway. What is this one? Varian, an itinerant bard popular with the common folk, arrived at my court. A local landowner encouraged him to seek me out so that he might perform for myself and my household. Prior to the performance, he came to me to ask what sort of music would be most pleasing to my ears. Let's see. Get some piety, get prestige. Okay. We are arrogant, so I'm going to go for perhaps a ballad about me. Gained 150 prestige, lovely. Varian's performance went over swimmingly. Not a single member of my household left unimpressed. Beyond the specific ballad I'd requested, Varian played many more gorgeous tunes, much to everyone. A splendid evening indeed. This has been a very nice, calm episode so far. We are about to have our son come of age. Here we go. Willem comes of age. I am proud to see my son no longer as a child, but an adult. For the longest time, I was hoping that good tutelage would be enough to teach Willem the intricacies of administration. All efforts have come to naught, however. You would be impressed by his understanding of the subject. But he has at least developed a sound grasp on the basics of management and the beginnings of a sensible reality. They grow up so fast. They do. And we can knight my squire. So I will gain 25 opinion of him. He will no longer be my squire. I will gain piety and I knight Willem. Effects on Willem Darry. He will gain 75 piety, 75 prestige. Knighted. He will lose the trait squire. Gave him 0.1 prestige. Action bonus of 1. Squire characters 5. He will become a knight. 0.25 prestige. Have better captain effectiveness, a lot of attraction by opinion, heavy cavalry damage, and opinion of knight characters. He will also accept. I have knighted Willem. Willem Rivers. No. Sir Willem Rivers. He is a knight. Good for him. Let's get him married as well. Let's find him someone really good. Marry. Someone preferably who can help him a little bit with his stewardship stuff. Preferably not too old either. We would like them to have children. There's a fly. There. Fly on my face. Here we are. Carol. 17 in stewardship, only 20 years of age. Ooh, his Midas touched. He is paranoid, solitary, and calm. He has a Faith of the Seven and Availment. I'm gonna say yeah. He'll lose 300 prestige because he's marrying a lowborn. But honestly, marrying a lowborn this once, I think, is fine. So Marstone is wanting a council position. Unfortunate for him. Um, look, if I could make him my Septum, I would. And Lord Richard Riverbend, he's probably going to die soon. He looks very unwell, as does his wife. I can't see any trait that says that he's feeling particularly. Ah, he suffers from chronic headaches causing irritability. That's could be about to see one of our vassals die here. He also wants a position on the council, but again, he's just not as good as some of the people that are on here. Lord Zachary of Stillside, he's the one that's forming a faction against me, isn't he? So he is happy with me. He likes me. Higher Crown Authority? There we go. We are at High Crown Authority. Is perfectly fine. And then I'm considering I send him a poem. Work about morning. Did lose his brother. Ah, his brother was Lord Axel. Yes, that's correct. Let's send one about morning. Let's see if that goes down well. It is indeed lauded. Excellent. He also lost some stress, which I don't know if he had it, but we really liked his brother, Lord Axel. He was a very good Castellian for many years for us, and so it just seems a little bit respectful. Clearly, he's feeling a bit down. He's feeling a bit uppity. Send him a little thing about morning. You know, it doesn't have to be crazy. My relative Willem has been made a knight. He has made House Darry very proud. Good for him. Got money. And with that money, I feel it time look at expanding our retinues. I'm thinking maybe some armored footmen as well. We're gonna get another 300 in the retinue. Retinue, men at arms, not retinue. And that's a Crusader Kings 2 term. The Serene Damon. I will graciously take the hand of your son heir Willem in holy matrimony. May we find strength and support in union. Yay! Rats. Right. He's a Riverlander. He's also the Warring Star, so it looks like we are going to be having a little bit of a transition, being a Warring Star. Old, which is fine, because Warring Star is not seen as... They're seen as righteous. Their faith is considered legitimate. So that's all fine. It does seem that Faith of the Seven is slowly spreading in here, but also we've also another one called Werewood of the Seven. looks to be an organized Faith of the Seven. Interesting. The fact that Werewood of the Seven doesn't have a description makes me feel like it's potentially been created. I don't know. But also, had sad news. Uncle Willem has died. Died in his sleep. Which leaves his sickly son, Eric, to be the new Lord of the Cape of Eagle. Unfortunate that I still can't negotiate an alliance with him. But once again, we are now the heir of Cape of Eagles. Let's just take a moment to appreciate Willem Darry, okay? This man was an incredible man. I don't think we can actually look at his history. I think it'll be lost to time. But he was a wonderful man. He was around since the very beginning. Let's not forget, you know, he was he was in King's Landing along with his brother, Jonathan, and our father, his brother, Simon, when the Civil War broke out, the Baratheon Wars broke out, he called him and he said, "Hey, come home. I want you to... We have a plan to strike the ferry bridge in this region, and we want you to be leading the charge." So he came home. He travelled from King's Landing in the midst of Civil War all the way home. He fought in some campaigns with us here. He fought for some time in those wars, till eventually he got maimed in battle. He lost a leg, and he decided to go to Dragonstone and find work there, which he did for a little while, and then he moved over to Pointside once the Baratheon Wars had ended. And then, obviously, he lost his brother already, our father, and then we write him a letter saying, "Hey, do you want to come back? Do you want to come back, and do you want to work as an admiral? It would be a really cushy job. There's no war anymore. There's no pirates or anything. Just work here, you know, buy crabs, and just have a peaceful life. That's fine." Then we discovered that he had righteous claim on the Cape of Eagles, sorry. And we fought a war to put him on there. War which we won. And then for the next 4 years, he lived over there. He managed to finally get a son, which he'd struggled to have for many, many years. Finally had a son, and he finally had everything that he wanted. And so I think with everything that he finally wanted having been met, I think he was like, you know what? It's time to go. He died peacefully in his sleep at the age of 50, 57? 58. Good old Willem. And now with the is it any coincidence that Willem Darry tale ends when we truly start to begin the tale of Sir Willem Rivers, another Darry? Coincidence, huh? But yes, I feel like we could probably be ruling for many more years anyway. We're only 36. We have really good, we have a really good health modifier to us. So unless we're actually murdered, I think we could live a very long life, which is fine by me. But yes, the Darrys are still strong over there. In fact, I'm going in Lord Eric. I'm interested in his things. And oh, look, once again, we're invited to a tournament. I will do this tournament. This is the last tournament I will do. No more tournaments after this. For glory. Do we actually make it past the beginning round? That's the real question. Did. We actually did make it. Also, my hook's going to expire on Willem soon, so... I'm gonna use... Bye. Does I can recruit him as a spy. I don't actually know what that does. To be honest with you, I'm kind of fine if this hook passes, because I don't really have anything to use it on anyway. But anyway, let's see if we actually do something with this tournament. So it's myself, with my 11 martial and my 17 prowess, against Lord Tilbert of Green Rivers, with his 19 prowess. Oh boy. I think I'm going to lose. Yep. Hooves thundering, weight of a mountain slams into a chest. And I have lost. It was thrilling. That's okay. My lord, my septum, Kendron, approaches me with urgency. A local merchant has a copy of the compendious books on calculation by completion and balance, but refuses to sell it to me. If you make him see the error of his ways, I would be in your debt. Olive. I don't have the money. I'm really sorry. I don't have the money. My hook has expired on Willem Rivers. Go for Defender of the Faith. We have an iron. We have the aged cheese. We have the aged... This thing is, like, 15 years old almost. Here we go. Who won the tourney of Harrenhal? It was... Lord Marrel Sillinger of Whitewood. Nice in... So... How's that faction? You still in that faction? You are still in that faction. Who... actually angry at me thing. Money's going up. Oh, there we go. The faction disbanding us has ended. Ah. And it would seem that our cousin, Lord Eric, 2 years old, has died. We now control... Trident's Mouth now has control over Seaguard Castle directly, as well as the Cape of Eagles. Now, our son will inherit both. Do I really want to give it away? I know I said last episode I would, but... Why? Got a trade port? This is going to make us... The control isn't too... gonna have to send our counselor up there. Send here, it will take 4 years. You have some new vassals as well. Hello, hello, hello. None of you really like me. That's not... Okay, you like me, you like me. You're okay with me. You despise me. Well, however... Very good. He would be a very good... Lord Jason of E. Yes, please. Right, who else have we got? Anyone that's a better steward? My Castilian would do. I need diplomacy. Have Lady Alicent of Sea Sorrow. Yeah, sure, you can be my admiral. And you can keep with protecting trade. So you're happier with me. We're not entirely happy. Let's try and sway you if we can. You have good diplomacy. Better diplomacy than our brother. So I'm actually happy for you. And as for these two, they're not massively powerful. Okay. So it looks like the gamble has paid off. We have managed to expand not just our house power, but our direct power as well. We now hold 2 of 2 holdings, which is good. We hold 2 of 2 holdings, which is fantastic. We have Castle Darry, and we also have Seaguard Castle. We just really like holding castles. Interesting. Very interesting. This opens up some interesting opportunities for us. We've also got a much larger army than we used to. Oh boy. I know it's a little bit early, but I think I'm going to put a cut in here. We're approaching the turn of a century, and also we're approaching a large power spike in House Darry. The more and more I think of it, the more and more I think, you know, we need to do stuff. We need to take back Spiderwood. We need to maybe push for more influence over Maidenpool. You know, I'm just saying, you know, having control over Maidenpool would be very nice. Give us more control over the Bay of Crabs. That is more. And it would also cement our protection down here. But this is a very interesting situation that we find ourselves in. House Darry has expanded. Well, no. House Darry hasn't expanded, but Lord Damon has expanded. So I am very interested to see where this takes us. But for now, I put a cut in here just slightly early, because this feels like a really good place to stop. I hope you have enjoyed this episode of Crusader Kings 3, A Game of Thrones as House Darry. If you have, please do let me know in the comments. Any feedback is welcome, so please do leave it there. This will be the end of this recording session, so like I said, any comments left on episodes 4 and 5 will probably be actioned on 7th episode. But yes, I hope you have all enjoyed. Thank you all so much for watching this episode. Thank you all so much for the support that has been going on as well in the past few episodes. And I hope that you continue to enjoy this series, as you have the first couple of episodes. So, thank you all so much for watching. I have been Squid, you have been you. This has been Crusader Kings 3: A Game of Thrones, and I'll see you all in the next video. Bye bye for now.